or wet can seem like an eternity to an infant with no sense of real time. That child might feel vulnerable to the parent's whim. Will that parent ever return and give comfort? At times, we worry they'll leave us, and we come to fear the rejection of abandonment. At other times, we might become afraid our caregivers will overwhelm us with closeness, smothering out the spark of our identities. Another rejection. How does this happen? They may not let us show independence or creativity or assertiveness or a sense of our own personhood. These dual rejection fears, abandonment and intrusion, often accompany us throughout life, causing no end of trouble in relationships. Fear of possible rejection has led many of us to withhold statements of love, acts of caring, sexual advances, or even movie or dinner invitations. We're often afraid to come forward with requests, such as asking someone for a first date, requesting a raise, submitting artwork or manuscripts, or asking for favors like a ride to the airport. It's constricting and restricting, keeping us from being ourselves. When we hold back like this, people often misunderstand what our hesitancy is really about. It helps to understand how adult rejection ordeals are rooted in childhood. Most of us wanted to be loved, cared about, and respected, but perhaps that didn't happen when we were growing up. There were so many disappointments. What if you wanted to be comforted by your mother, but she held back? What if you wanted your father to listen to your stories about the school day, but he just kept reading the paper, not paying attention, not even looking at you? Wouldn't it have been great to be praised once in a while for the times you did something well, instead of having been chastised for the times you messed up? Wouldn't it have been nice, once in a while, to be told you did a good job, even for small things, like the times you successfully carried milk to the table, instead of getting yelled at the one time you spilled it? One man remembers, "I rushed home to tell my dad I got 92% on a math test. He looked at the grade, looked at me, and said, 'So what happened to the other 8%?' I think in that moment a part of me died. I quit trying." Many of us encountered rejection messages even though our parents or teachers may not have intended them. Perhaps we felt laughed at or invalidated or ignored, maybe even disowned or abandoned. Perhaps someone inadvertently discounted our emotions by scoffing, "You're acting like a baby. What's the matter with you? Did your feelings get hurt?" Perhaps they were trying to dictate how we should feel, so they didn't have to examine their own feelings. But it felt like they were trying to take our feelings away. Years later, we're still affected by these time-worn childhood wounds. Early dings and dents take their toll, and we're stunned when these old feelings reverberate into our adult lives and relationships, causing even little things to set us off. When we feel easily slighted, when our feelings continue to get hurt by the actions, words, and behaviors of others, or if we unrelentingly blame ourselves for any given situation, we're taking it personally. A songwriter I know uses musical terms to explain this process. "I picture myself as a harp, with all kinds of large and small debris swirling around out there, words, feelings, innuendos. Some float toward me, passing right through the spaces between the strings, and glide on by. But others seem to be hurled at me and hit the strings, striking a chord that reverberates way back to my past, bringing up old hurts. It really jangles my nerves and throws me off balance. I'd like to be able to ride out these encounters and not get so unnerved, to reorchestrate and find my balance. First of all, I want to choose whether they stick or pass by. If they do stick, I want to be able to say, okay, what can I do to make this noise musical? What works best for me is to chant to myself, don't take it personally, don't take it personally. In fact, it's become my mantra. There's no question that taking things personally can get in the way of both work and personal relationships. Sensitivity to rejection can be a symptom or attribute of a number of psychological issues: adult attention deficit disorder, depression, stage fright, eating disorders, highly sensitive nervous systems, shame-based issues, shyness, and abuse.